Hello and good afternoon and welcome to Cooking on a Budget with Christine. Today we're going to make a pasta bake dish. Now the art of this dish is preparation. Nothing else, preparation is the most important thing, so there's not a lot of cooking to do. So what I've done is I've got everything ready. I've taken my Quorn, which I left out of the freezer last night, so it's actually defrosted, and the whole thing about this dish is everything is ready to go, and as soon as it's cooked it's ready to serve. So we have our packet of Quorn. I have pasta. Now I worked it out, you need 300 grams of pasta. Now if you haven't got a scales, that's 3 mugs full. Okay, simple as that. Now you need cheese, 100 grams of cheese, and if you haven't got scales again, just an ordinary teacup of cheese will do fine. A packet of crisps, an onion sliced, a tin of Campbell's mushroom soup. Can you make sure as well when you're buying that you buy the condensed soup, not the ordinary soup. I have my garlic. This is the easy garlic that I was talking about before. If you prefer, you can use the ordinary clove garlic, but to be honest, if you're trying to do something fast to get everybody fed, the easy garlic's great, and it keeps in the fridge, so you end up that you haven't got garlic growing on your worktop because you've forgotten to use it. 1 tomato sliced into halves, a dessert spoonful of margarine, which I'll explain later on what we're going to do with that. But first and foremost, the most important thing is just to cook your pasta. So for your 300 grams of pasta, I have put 2 litres of boiling water into my pan, and I'm just going to stop for a moment and I'm going to put my pasta on, and then we're going to come back to how to prepare your ingredients. So we're going to prepare the sauce, and for the sauce I'm going to use this can of Campbell's condensed mushroom soup. If your family don't like mushroom, you can use chicken. Now I'm just going to make this recipe whole vegetarian, but if you want you can use the chicken soup instead. Now normally this soup, as you can see, it's very gloopy, and the whole idea with condensed soup is that you're supposed to add extra fluid to it, and usually you add a whole can of either water or milk to it. Now because I want a nice creamy sauce, I am just going to add about 3/4 of a can of milk, just about 3/4, and then all you do is gradually mix it in. Now make sure you do it gradually, otherwise I find with this soup that it does go a little bit lumpy if you don't mix it in gradually, so we're mixing it nice and gradually. As I said to you before, all the art of this dish is the preparation so that you can actually get it onto the table. I know I said it's called pasta bake, but this is my sort of no-bake pasta bake, which is easy to do, especially, I'm rattling away here, easy to do especially when you're just in from work and you don't want to be spending hours in the kitchen. So we have our sauce prepared. Now I like, well, everybody in this house likes a crunchy cheese topping on top of their pasta bake, and that's very easy to make. So that's 100 grams of cheese and 40 grams of crisps, or just an ordinary pack. I only buy the big packs of crisps, so I just weighed that out. So an average packet of crisps. That one's just a plain salted one. And what you would do if you were using the crisp packet in the crisps is just put it in the crisps in the bag and squash them all up. But because I haven't I haven't got mine in the bag, I'm just going to pop mine into the plastic bag here. There we go. I should really say one for the chef as well, but I'm on a diet, so I shouldn't be eating those. Just give them a good old squash up like that, so you've got a nice crispy topping. Then pour them into your cheese, And because your hands should be clean, just mix them all up there. So you should see now that you've got a nice sort of crunchy topping. So we're going to set that aside. So we have that. Now, I said earlier on that you needed a teaspoon, try and get it right, dessert spoonful of margarine. And what we're going to do is we're going to make some garlic butter, except we use margarine. So in there, depending how garlicky you like it, it's supposed to be one of these equals a clove of garlic. So a teaspoonful is a clove of garlic, pop it in there. Give it a wee whiz about so that you've got yourself some nice garlic butter. I'm going to set that aside because we're going to use some bread and we're actually going to make our own garlic bread very shortly. So that's that. So we're going to pause for a moment and I'm going to show you now what we're going to do to make this sauce. Right, I've taken 2 tablespoons full of just ordinary vegetable oil. I'm going to pop that in the pan and we're going to add, now I chopped my onion up and to be honest I thought it was quite a lot of onion, so I'm only going to use half the onion and I'm going to keep the other half because I'm going to toss it into my salad at the end. So that's probably about enough onion, not too much because it'll give it too strong a taste. I'm going to pop the onion in and I'm going to fry it now until it's golden brown. So we'll switch off the timer for a few seconds and do that. Alright, so that's the onions browned and cooked through. You know when your onions are cooked is because they go clear. That means that they're ready to eat. So we're going to add our Quorn. Now it's your choice. I've used a whole packet of Quorn here, which is 300 grams, but you can use half that amount if you feel that you'd rather get 2 meals out of the 1 packet. So that's your pack of Quorn in there. I'm going to give it a, remember it's defrosted, so it won't take too long to cook through. So just mix your Quorn and your onions. If you're not a great onion lover, you can miss the onions out here. It's not really necessary. Sometimes I put them in, sometimes I don't. So with our Quorn there, and then we're just going to take our sauce and pour the sauce in there nicely. Being left-handed makes it very difficult on the camera. But try it that way. Make sure you've got all your sauce. And then we're just going to see that's nice creamy sauce there. If you don't want to use milk, you can always use water in your sauce, but you won't get that creaminess the same way as you do. Now I'm just going to leave that on a very low heat. So that's 3 on my cooker. Leave it on a low heat to bubble up, and hopefully by this time my pasta will be cooked and ready to go. So while we were stopped there for a few seconds, I took my 4 slices of bread and toasted them. So what we're going to do is we're just going to take a little bit of our garlic and we're going to spread it out between the 4 pieces of bread. And we're just going to use this to garnish, and also adds a little bit to it that you've got a nice little bit of garlic bread. So quite a bit on that, but it's alright, it'll go in nicely. That you're divided up between the 4 slices. If you're not a great lover of garlic bread, you can always miss this out, but I always think it adds a nice little bit to the dish. So once you've done that, hold on, pile those on top like that and just cut them into triangles. You'll probably get a little bit of butter on the other side of your bread, which is exactly what I was trying to do. So now we've got lots of lovely little triangles of garlic bread ready to go. So the next job we have to do is to strain the pasta. Right. Easy way of telling that your pasta's done is it's lovely and creamy looking and very, very floppy. So what we're going to do is we're going to drain our pasta very carefully into the colander. Now, the most important thing with this dish really is to make sure that your pasta is good and dry. So give it a good swizzle round like that. And you can see now, with the steam and everything, the windows are steaming up even, steam and everything, that your pasta is now dry and ready to go over to the cooker again. Right, turn your sauce on so it is nice and bubbling away, and then we're going to add the pasta to the sauce. Now you can do it two ways. You could either put it back in the pan and add the sauce in that way, or this is a nice big saucepan, so I'm just going to add it to my saucepan. Then we're going to make sure, turn it down a little bit again, make sure now that every little bit of your pasta is coated with your sauce. There's nothing worse than getting a dry bit of pasta. So you can see now that's coming up really, really nicely. It's all nice and creamy and coated with sauce. Now the final bit where we're going to put everything together now, and then we're going to put it underneath the grill. So now would be a good time to put your grill on so that your grill is nice and hot. So that's that ready. Now ready to prepare the dish. Right, time is of the essence here, so we're going to quickly pour our pasta into the dish here. As you can see, everybody panics when you first put your pasta in the water because you think, oh, there's definitely not enough pasta there, and you'd be tempted to shake a bit more pasta in, but please don't, because as you can see, look at that now, that's going to serve, well, 4 adults or 2 adults and 2 children easily. Take your cheese and your crispies and sprinkle those all over the top like that. Give it a good whiz round, otherwise everybody would keep complaining that they didn't get a bit of the crispy bit. And then we're going to take our little bits of garlic bread and we're going to put them right the way around the edges of the dish. If you can get them to stand up right the way in like that, it's even better, and then your grill will do the rest. So I'm going to pop those right the way around like that. As you can see, you could have got away really with doing a couple of slices of bread, but there'll always be a battle for who's having the most bread. So we've got that, and earlier on when I was doing the preparation, I had prepared a few tomatoes. Now it's your choice whether you put the tomatoes on or not, but you can add a little bit of tomato just around, makes it look a bit more attractive. But I say, if you haven't got a tomato, don't worry, it's not important. And we're just going to pop all around there, and then we're going to pause and we're going to put it under the grill and brown it. Now, as my grill is in the microwave, we obviously can't get a shot of this. So once your cheese is all bubbling nicely and everything's nice and brown, it's ready to serve. Now this bit is you have to do this very quickly, otherwise the rest of your dish is going to get cold. So it's off to the grill with this. So here we are, that's all nicely toasted now. So we're just going to, I've added a little bit of salad to my plates here. And I'm just going to add, whoops, a little bit of the garlic bread around the side of each of my plates here. We've done 2 because we're both starving now that we've done this video. So as soon as we've done this, we're going to pause and have this now. And just either divide depending on how many people you're serving it, and just pop it nicely on your plate there. I'm just going to do one, and there you have it, a nice dish of pasta bake. You can see the steam coming off it, and we're ready to go and eat it. And perhaps enjoy a little bit of Chianti with it as well.